All right, folks, we're going to leave about that much light on the subject. It's about all we're going to get. It's kind of macabre. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. It's a good theater. I mean, here's my face sitting out of the black. Oh my God, there's a sleep turned on the notice on the damn phone. I'd like to get that shit to go away. They make this stuff too automatic and it pisses me off. Everybody wants to take over my life, especially my electronic leash and my dog. She woke me up. Now I'm waking her up. She's rocking in her kennel. I'm pissed off at her. She knocked the space heater over again. I tell her not to run, and she takes off, scrambling like Coyote E. Whatever, Wile E. Coyote. And I think she's being cute. She's watched too many cartoons. I never run a television set anymore, but for some reason she seems to be following the cartoons. Why is it that when we start marching, we start on our left foot? We step forward with our left foot. We don't step forward on our right foot, we step forward on our left foot. If you can answer me that, simple little riddle, right? I'd like to know. Why is it we start marching with our left foot? Whenever we stress, we start with the same thing we've done before. It's like my slippers. The dog can't be trusted, so I got to put my slippers up. I mean, she's got a compulsion. She stresses. Why is she stressing? Because I don't work her enough. Seriously, she needs a job. Look at what she does to my slipper. It's just the left one, not the right one. So, am I getting off on the wrong foot? Am I getting off on the wrong foot? Is my dog trying to tell me something? I mean, clearly, that's preferable. That's what I bought at the store. I know I bought these on sale. Cheap. Don't have to last long. Got enough comfort. More comfort than that. But I got to put my slippers up or she'll go back to chewing the left one. So does my dog know her left from her right? I barely trained her on it at all. No, I don't think she knows her left from her right yet. The other dog I had, it took 6 weeks. I worked him every morning. When we were done, I would tell him which way to go, and he would go that direction. It was kind of nice. You know, you're out in public and you're walking down the aisles and you tell the dog left, right. That impresses other people. They realize the dog's been trained. Because a lot of people don't know their left from their right. And in the Bible it says, go neither to the left nor to the right, but straight ahead. But you dumbasses have got to vote. Oh, yeah, you get to vote all right. You get to vote whether you're going to go to the left or to the right, but it doesn't frickin' matter. If it mattered, they'd make it illegal. Yeah. I didn't come up with that one. George Carlin did. If it mattered, they'd make it illegal. If it made a difference, they'd make it illegal. We're all guided. We ain't guided missiles. We ain't even that smart as one of those dumb robotic missiles. Lack of knowledge, my ass. Plain stupid. I'm still listening on the radio to they cut off babies' heads. Oh, they put them in a fire. Was that the heads or the babies or both or what? I mean, come on, that sounds like a real big improvement over what happened in the last World War, where what did they put in those ovens? Oh, Dresden, the Guernica, Pablo Picasso's piece of shit was on the wall. And people worshipped him and his bull bicycle by the horns. Modern art. Piece of shit is what it was on the wall. Right there on display, sharing it with the world. How magnanimous of Pablo Picasso. How big of him. And of course, I toured and I looked at the pizza ovens. That's right. I was a little boy. It's a frickin' pizza oven. You're not going to cook a person in a pizza oven. Those are crematoriums. Really? I'm 7 years old, 8 years old, and you're going to tell me I don't know what a pizza oven looks like? And showers? Oh my God, I walked in there. I hung out in there for a little bit. People were supposed to have died in there, given up their lives in there. Lots of them. Millions of them. Thousands, millions. Dachau, mind you. And my parents told me how evil those guys were, how bad they were and what they did, and how it was good for me to know this shit, this bullshit, this piece of shit lie that the adults couldn't see. But an 8-year-old, oh hell yeah, I think I was 7 at the time, I don't remember. Hell, it was a long time ago. But I'll tell you this, they lied, baby, they lied. They lied. I was scared shitless. I didn't want to go over there. I saw that madman on the television set. I mean, I could damn near feel the spit on my face when he was roaring. And I mean, Achtung, this. I mean, look at those big masses, all those flags, those uniforms, and it's like, this guy's really nuts. Scared the hell out of me. And you want me to go from Colorado Springs, over there with that? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Black and white television. Next thing I know, I find myself scaring myself. I'm getting up on a stool so I can get up and look at myself in the bathroom mirror, and I get a little comb out and I put it up under my nose. And I pretend. And I scared myself off the frickin' stool right out of the damn mirror in the bathroom. 'Cause I was the boogeyman. I was identifying with that evil. How could I? How could he? Did he really? Oh. He had the final, really, the mix. So, you know what I'm saying. He had the ultimate. No, if he did, he was ahead of his time. But I'm going to tell you this, he didn't. No, he didn't. He had 2 different groups over there vying to represent those people. Yeah, those people that you and I are not allowed to criticize. We're not allowed to talk about. Why? Why? Because they rule over us. Yeah, they rule over us. Don't kid your asses. They run this country. And they're running out of options on the battlefield. They're losing their asses. I saw that. Best news in quite a while, because all I hear on the news is how we got to go in there and do this and they got to do that, and we have to stand by and let them. They got to do their job. They have to do this. They have to do. They have to. They have to. They must. They must do what? Kill the other son of a bitches? Kill the children? 15-year-olds. Half of the population's 15 and under. Real children. Not like they say with the gun violence here, under 21. They lie and you love it so. And you choose the left or the right. And you dumbasses on the right, I can't believe you believe that shit, but you do. Man, I know one of these radio talk show hosts somewhat. I'd call him an acquaintance, you know. Big guy, strong guy, black guy, funny as can be, plays his black card all the time, puts it under glass and on display. He's got a good sense of humor. But I'm afraid to run into him because I'm afraid I'm going to embarrass our mutual friend, because I can't help but say, James, are you such a dumbass? James, do you really believe they cut off babies' heads? I've heard you say it. I heard your guests say it. Now I hear you say it all the time. And they put them in ovens. Wow. James, how many babies? Let me take a guess. 6? You know what? I think Yahweh wants me to get a little music therapy. So I'm going to probably get myself another guitar, electric guitar and amplifier. I found a little amp. Those old amps that I had that I sold. I can't afford to buy one anymore. $3,600. And they've had capacitor jobs, all kind of rewiring jobs, and all that. And you get the original capacitors along with it, but $3,600 for an amp that I used to pay $150 for. I found one. I made the kid a good offer, but I think I'm just going to go by and smear his ass with greenbacks because that's what everybody wants. I made him a real good offer. Made him an offer worth probably a solid 100 over the 5 he wants. So I'm going to go grab myself a wad of $20 bills and show up there. But I'm going to be paying a lot more than $100 this time. But I ain't paying no $3,600 for a little punk that didn't cost much to make. It's a cute little amp. If it sounds good, I'll buy it. I don't have to have a collector's item. Hell, I'm the collector's item. Yeah, the moment I found out I was undateable. Somebody said they were undateable. And I never thought of myself as being undateable. But with these women that are running around today and what they want, I'm not dateable. It's kind of nice in a way because it's like, so what? You want me to date your ass so you can do what to me? So you can abuse my ass? Look, at this age, I understand the nature of women. I've experienced it. I don't have to have anybody to tell me about it, but there's people like Greg Adams who understand it quite well, and they tell you, and it's like, and we still don't listen to them. We still give them the benefit of the doubt. And I look at them in these different settings and the videos that they put up there, and the same with Joker. I look at what he puts up as well, and I'm thinking, I'm undateable. And I like it. I stopped caring. And I remind myself every time a woman gets a little chummy with me, ain't worth it. Dangerous. Don't play fair. Allergic to responsibility. Will falsely charge your ass. Will call up and will file false charges against you. Will be believed, and you're screwed. I can't take that chance anymore. Can you? No, I got some friends that are happily married. They've been married for about forever. It's like they actually know what they got going, most of them now. I mean, they know what they got going. It's like, wow. And once in a while I'm out there in public and I see these little old ladies and women together. Fragile, precious. And you can tell they're afraid. And you can tell that they're frail. And you can also tell they never leave each other's sides. They go and do everything together. They got one watching out for the other. That's wonderful. They got a companion. It's God-given. It's a miracle. Now, I don't have a woman, right? That's okay. Because I tell you, if Yahweh wanted me to have one, he'd have issued me one. That's right. Yeah, right out the chute, he would have signed me one. Or before, he'd have picked one out. But no, I don't get one. Okay, fine. My uncle tried to get me married. And my aunt tried to get me married. And I actually got married at the same time they got married. But I married a bad girl. Bad for me. Lucky for me, I figured it out. And I'd had enough. And I told her if she didn't stop doing what she was doing, to get out. Because every Sunday, like clockwork, she would bake my ass, roil me over the coals, and chew me out. At the end of 2 hours, it was worse than when we started. It wasn't worth putting time into that relationship. Every Sunday. And one time she said to me, I know no matter what you do to me, there was something about whatever she did to me was 10 times worse than what I was doing to her. When she said that to me, I listened to her carefully and I thought, she's telling me the truth. She's doing this purposely and she's harming me as much as she can. I had another one like that years ago. Like clockwork. Sundays come around. Maybe it was Saturdays, I don't remember. And that little petite girl would become tough as nails. So much adrenaline coursing through her veins and her body. It was scary. And she'd become abusive. And what was she? An abused wife. Previous marriage. Man must have knocked out every tooth in her head. She had implants. Father knocked her down the stairs all the time. Oldest child. I was the oldest child. Father abused the F out of her. I don't think it was sexual abuse. I think it was physical abuse. And the other children, he left alone. I met him. He wasn't too happy with me. You think I was happy with his ass? Knowing what I knew? Him throwing her down the stairs or kicking her down the stairs and shit? No, I wasn't happy with him at all. I didn't give a damn if he had any respect for me at all. But the problem was, I should have realized his daughter was not right. Don't hang around a woman that's been abused. I had another woman one time, counselor type, liked me. She was working over at the university. I loved the university. Back then you could talk to anybody. They were nice and open. She found out I was involved with an abused woman. She says, John, anything but an abused woman. Don't. She worked with the women that were abused and on the street. And she knew how abusive and mean and angry and horrible they were, and how they had control in the relationship, and they were so far off kilter, they were the ones initiating the abuse, bringing it, yes, upon themselves, making it happen in the relationship so they could dominate it. And then after he finally had had enough emotional abuse and whacked her one, then she would rub that in on his ass, and she would rule the roost. And he would be upset with himself and apologize and lovey-do, lovey this, lovey that. And the makeup sex was fantastic. And he showered her with accolades and with gifts, and it was lovey-dovey. And then gradually it faded again. And as he's trying to have a normal life, a normal relationship, she decides, the hell with that, I need a little drama. You know, that makeup sex is damn good. In order to get there, though, I gotta get him to beat on me some. It's a sick triad. It is a sick thing. I think Leonora, I want to say Helmsley, that wasn't her name, but the psychologist discovered this triad of abuse, and it turned out the women were in control of the relationship the whole time. But yet, we men are put into prisons over this shit. Women get away with it. Men, run away. Don't just walk. Run away. If she's going to be abusive at all, she doesn't have any love for you. She has no respect. There's no love possible where there's no respect. You know, that marital vow to honor and obey. Why is the word obey in there? And of course, what do we say? To cherish. Why is the word cherish in there? Well, it used to be a decent deal because the women realized they had problems. They realized they needed to be protected. They realized they needed to be guided. They realized they needed to let the man actually have the upper hand because he was protecting her from the world and from herself. She needed a safe environment to balance that delicate crown upon her head. Yes, being a woman is a balancing act. However, I want you to understand something. This country, all my life, has been run by the frickin' queen until recently when she died. Now we got a king in the background. You want to know what a bonded servant is, what a bond slave is? I listened to a friend of mine, my Jewish handler. I need to recognize her authority I gave her over me in her position. Sends me a video. Listen to this. I'm listening to what sounds like an old black woman on there, except this is an intelligent woman. She sounds like a little woman out of Louisiana. Well, my Jewish handler's in Louisiana. She's got a background in history. As I find out how colorful it is, it's like, oh, really? You used to do all that stuff? I don't even want to imagine it, but I'm sorry. I don't know what it takes to get up there on stage naked in front of men. I ain't going to do it. Let's put it that way. 5 years she did that on Bourbon Street. Yeah, that's going to be my handler, all right. Well, hell, you know she can make a joke. You know she can handle herself. You know that, well, we don't really know, but we know. You ain't buying my Bibles. I'm working on t-shirts and working on potions and magic formulas and actual elixirs and actual decent treatments. You see, these medical doctors won't tell you what's wrong with you, ever. They will treat your symptoms, but they won't tell you what's really causing your cancers, because then you might cure yourself. Yeah. Anyway, there's a physician that wrote a book called The Cure for All Cancers. I read it about 1976, 1978. Only 2 points in the whole frickin' book. But these medical doctors lie to you and me. Yeah, I'm going to go follow up with another damn doctor. I think I need to go get myself the Star of David when I walk in, because maybe he'll keep me alive and kill me a little slower. Maybe he'll keep me alive a little longer, because he'll think I'm, well, one of them. Yeah. But then they might target my ass saying, he's just a freaking convert. We got to get rid of him. We don't accept them. Yeah, we got to weed them out too. Oh, I don't know what to do. How do I take care of myself? How do I protect myself? See, I got to get myself a necklace, and I got to get myself a ring. And I probably should put a couple more symbols on there while I'm at it. Walk around with all that shit around my neck. People won't know what to make of me. Let's see. I get one of those major crucifixes, and I get a broken cross, and I get what you all call the Star of Remphan. Oops, David. And I got to get myself one of those rings with the black backgrounds. Maybe one on my pinky. One of those things that shows I'm kind of a square guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just as I'm a square. Look at that black onks. And look at that. Look at that square. The guy's a square. Man, the guy's square. Where's his long hair? Where's his fringe at? Where's his bell bottoms at? No, you ain't getting me in bell bottoms again, I swear to God. I'm not putting on bell bottoms again. Did that before. I know. It's probably the style right now. I started hanging out in Scottsdale a little bit in my rags. I like being undercover, It's beautiful up there. It's next to paradise, but you're in the devil's territory. Fender's corporate headquarters are up there, and of course they don't want to talk to anybody. Go see your local dealer. Hell, I thought they'd have a damn museum right there, and you could walk around and look at the old guitars and amplifiers, and they might actually have a tour guide, and they might explain things to you. Oh no, cold ass corporation, but it's R&D. I said, well, fine. You must have somebody that develops amplifiers in here. I want to know something about these amps. I haven't been able to keep up with them. I ain't going to bother to keep up with them when we get the old shit that I know works. $3,600? Wow. I think I paid $400 for it back then. I thought that was a lot of money. Hell, I used to get Bassman for $400. 5 F6As with 12 AY7As in the front end, or another, input tube. Most sensitive input tube there was. Make a Stratocaster roar to life, provided you have the right speakers in it. Bond servant. This black lady was intelligent. She didn't speak Ebonics. She just sounded like a little old black lady who'd been around long enough to culturally appropriate. I bet she culturally appropriated my white hair. That's cultural appropriation. She shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think they look good with that cotton top. Why? Because they outlived most of the rest. They really accomplished something. Because a lot of those people, sadly, just don't live long enough. I don't know why. It's probably racist, right? Racist discrimination. For me to point it out as being racist. No, I think that the lifespan's probably increased since they got off that continent, that dark continent. It's like the Alaska Natives. They tried to make me feel guilty. in high school. They come around, oh, we need the Alaska Native Settlement Act so we can put a pipeline through. We need our share. We need our cut of the pie. And you're going to pay us big, and you have to settle with us. All 154, 155 tribes. Because when we don't get along, we separate off into our own tribe. And baby, you got to settle with every one of us. So we'll make it impossible for your asses. And as a result, they live high on the hog, and we help those people to death. Wow. We must not like them very much, huh? Bond slave. This little lady says you have to securitize your money. You have to get a treasury account, and you have to sign a note on bonded paper. So you mean I got to jump through some hoops, and I got to go buy 30-pound rag content paper minimum, because it's bonded paper, and I got to go to the post office, and I have to buy a certain amount of stamps to securitize that. And the stamps that I'm buying for United States Post Office, who runs everything supposedly, they have to be canceled out. Okay? You're not mailing anything, but you got to cancel a stamp out. And you got to put a stamp on the lower right-hand corner of the front side and the lower right-hand corner of the ass side. And the queen gets that money from the post office somehow. So what's she doing running our post office or benefiting from our post office? And what are we doing running around with bonded paper to securitize our Federal Reserve notes? Because they pulled a bullshit fraud? The Democrats did it to us in 1933? And the Republicrats, whatever the repulsive skins, went along with this bullshit? You got to remember it was the Republicans, the radical Republicans, that destroyed the Republic. They're no good. NFG, non-functional gear. And you got to remember the Democrats basically destroyed the country. The real racist. You know, the Black Code, the beginnings of gun control, because the blacks scared the hell out of them and they didn't want those people running around with guns so they could protect themselves. And of course, they would have their picnics. I had to live in the South before they explained to me what the hell that meant. It was a black woman that explained it to me. Maybe it was a white woman, but I think it was a black woman. I liked her quite a bit. Worked together quite well. I miss those days. Lewis said I would miss them. Yeah. He told me that they would be the best days of my life, too. That son of a bitch, I wish he wasn't so right. Yeah, living with a cardboard box with for a nightstand for my alarm clock with a mattress I found in a dumpster somewhere it was tossed. It was brand new, but it was on the floor on the rug, and getting out of bed off the floor. Living on the super cheap. I qualified for food stamps, except I had a car. And that disqualified me from food stamps because my car was worth more than $3,000. And of course, they would have been very embarrassed if they'd have found out that their intern was getting food stamps and they weren't paying him enough. And I finally got a raise there. I actually earned my keep. I got a job. I was able to support myself. They said I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, that's what they said. I fought that. I screamed inside of my mind. I couldn't say a word. I was mute. I couldn't say a word to defend myself, except I screamed inside my mouth, F you, loud. Not a sound was heard. I couldn't speak. I was mute. And here I am being told, or rather my parents are being told, a big lie. And I'm being told a big lie. And they're practicing their black magic on me and casting me in cement shoes so they could throw my ass overboard. Because I was a throwaway person to them. I fought so hard. I'm proud of myself. I found myself another throwaway person that made something of himself after going to these yahoos. I said, yeah, I got to see him. I got to meet him. I mean, he's got something going. He's head of this whole institution. And he's another throwaway person. Oh, I'm missing Glade. Yeah, I miss Glade quite a bit. And I spent a few hours, not enough hours with him, but I spent quite a few hours. Then I remember Dean spent a year with him. I finally asked him, and he was from the old school, and he listened. I asked him. He says, I think your parents had an argument. They couldn't get along. And you got between them. He basically was telling me that, son, you were the battleground because they couldn't get along. Then I understood that aspect. Yeah. And I became a damn good psychologist. And then, at the end, I find out about the spiking of the frickin' Cheerios. And these assholes lying about it all the time, even to this day. Lying to the American people. Liars, thieves, and murderers who wear the white coats. Oh, yeah. They get paid 2.5 times the amount of the second highest paid profession. Do you know why they're getting paid those big bucks? Because they're covering up the crimes and they're paying the big bucks, paid the big bucks to keep their mouths shut. Because they know what ails you. They know the cause. The real medical cause. But they can't tell you because they have licenses to defend, and they will lose their licenses. And if they don't do exactly what Big Pharma says, it's not the banks, folks, it's Big Pharma. It's also your post office, it's your institutions, it's all of your foreign agents that you call attorneys, all of those esquires who are here illegally against the law of the land. What? You say you didn't know the law? And you're what? You're illegal? Beagle? You're an attorney son of a bitch and you don't know the law? And that's your excuse for failing to abide by the law? I can't wait to kick their asses to the curb. My name's Dr. John Taylor Kent. I'm what's left of this psychologist after all these years. I've struggled quite hard to get here. I still struggle. If you want to pray for me, I can't start my new motor home. I don't know what the hell I did to it. Must have a broken wire in there somewhere. I got to run a jumper to it. I'm not in a hurry. I still got to get parts up before I give it to the guy in the shop because the bill's going to be sky high anyway. And I'm going to have him do all this wonderful work on it. And you can pray that I can pay my bills and cover the cost of this coach. But in a certain sense, you don't have to pray for me. Why is that? Yahweh set it all up anyway. I mean, seriously, he's in charge of this stuff. You know, you need to pray for yourself. You need to pray that you get right, that you build that Holy Spirit. You need to pray for your next door neighbor. You need to pray for these little girls with children out there that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, that are being told not to settle. They've already screwed their lives up and they don't know it because they're being lied to and misled. A lot of them got daddy issues. I run into them and it's like, okay, great. You want to be, what, my sugar baby? It's a nice job if you can get it, but, you know, it's like, you got a baby. Where's that young man at? I have to tell him the truth. It's in your power, young woman, to make that marriage happen, to make that family happen. But she's got daddy issues, so she doesn't want that. She wants sugar daddy. Come on, woman. You're a third my age. Could I be talked into it? Oh, I'm easily convinced. There's no problem with that. But there is a problem. You got a 2-year-old baby. And you got a young man out there who actually needs a cheerleader. You need to put them together every day. Send him out into the world. He's not going to make as much money out of the shoot as you do, honey. He's not. He's going to have a lot of failures. But you got to dust his ass off, and you got to urge him on, and you got to send him back out there. No matter how many times he gets his ass kicked, you got to put him together and send him back out and help him. And in 10 years' time, you're going to thank me because you got an intact family. You got something that the others don't have. I mean, you've married the fellow who fathered your children. He's taking care of you. You're taking care of him. You're taking care of the child. The child's growing up really well. Maybe you get another child or two. Not only is that okay, that's encouraged. Maybe you're a real good mother, despite your father issues and all the other bullshit you put up with. So I got a young lady for you to pray out there. Her name is Dixie. That's her real name. I'm not going to say any more than that. Tried to help her out and put her to work, but she took advantage of me. Yeah, I'm an easy mark, all right. I'll tell you, it was kind of a good thing when she got up off the table. Yeah, I know it sounds horrible, right? When she got up from the table, she wanted some money, so if she wanted 30, I lent her 40. I was going to put her to work. She was going to clean my car. She decided to stiff me instead. And I'd already helped her before. And this time when I met with her, she wasn't all dolled up in makeup like the first time. I realized why she was late. She was putting on the war paint. Cost a lot of pennies, Mommy. Yeah. My mom loved that time when I told her that. Must cost a lot of pennies. When she got made up. And I told her, you can make it happen with this young man. And I tried to discourage her from anything with me other than work, and that I would coach her. I would coach her so that she could do this relationship so that she could make this thing happen. Yeah, I didn't mind that. I'd be real happy to help her out and see that. I mean, we need to support marriages. We need to support these couples. She's already got a family going. She's already got a family started and it's already broken. So pray for Dixie that she actually shores herself up properly. And I don't know what's going on with this young man. I don't know what's going on with her either. All I know is that it ain't right. A third my age, almost exactly. Yeah, she's cute. She's attractive. I mean, she's a kid. She's young. She's got some spunk, kind of like a firecracker. I'm sure I would enjoy her company as she's cleaning the house for me or my car or something like that. And I'm sure that it would be nice, to show her up and to hear of her success. But I can't do it on my own. I get pissed off because I filled her tank up so she could make it to her job interview so she could get her job. She got the job. Good. So, pray for Dixie out there. You can pray for me. I actually did the right thing, but maybe it was the wrong thing for me. Maybe I should have a little sweetie a third my age. Bring me some joy, some comfort, some warmth. Kind of like the sound of that, actually, as I say it. But we have to help these kids that are having kids. So I did what I could, and she got up from the table to walk off from having met me over at the restaurant outside just before her shift. And she says, I had to accept the way she looked. She wasn't going to be dolled up like she was before. And I was like kind of relieved to see her not dolled up and see her, going to work, plain Jane sort of stuff. She looked better dolled up, of course. And I mean, it was kind of sweet and kind of cute because, she's making a play for this old man. And that endears me right there. But she got up off the table and she muttered. And she was upset and said, he really cares. And as she walked away on that, I thought, yeah. So? Nobody cares? Some of us still do. Anyway, I hope she's doing well, although I get upset because she was supposed to pay me back and she was supposed to stay in better touch, and she didn't stay in better touch. So there's a lack of respect there. That's just that generation, as far as I can tell. They don't think about others much. They're too busy. I was there myself before. I know what that's like. Folks, we have got a mess. I'm trying to avoid messes. I think I'm over an hour. I can't read the lettering on the screen here. I don't want to go over an hour. No, I'm nowhere near an hour. You can pray for me. I got another young lady who needs to work. She's got some boys. And I don't know about entering into a business relationship with a woman because they can change their mind. But then again, it's like, I might as well do some good. I don't know how much time I got left. I might as well see some success. So I'd like to see the t-shirts take off. I'd like to see my channel take off. I'd like to see somebody out there running for office stealing my ideas. Don't just borrow them. Steal them. Take them. Make them yours. The 13th Amendment is the law of the land. The British took it from us. We ought to go to war. King Charles, we want our independence. Yeah, you red dragon son of a bitch. Yeah, I know who you are. I know what you are. People will be waking up to the fact that you were crowned king of Babylon. Your mother would be proud. Oh, hell, she said you'd never be king. I guess she said it while she was alive or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you got her whacked, like she got Diana whacked. Or was that you? And Mama had to take out the princess for you. Yeah, I'll bet. And what was that book that you were coronated upon that couldn't be shown in public, that they had to bring the veils out? What was that book that you swore on? It wasn't the Bible. We know you said you would never be coronated on a holy Bible. What the hell did you put your hand on? What did you swear allegiance to? Oh, you devil, you. Did you really? Good for you. Folks, I'm trying to let you know what's going on. My life has been a turmoil, and the whole purpose of it was to live in a manner that I would be able to tell you what you need. You need to develop a sense of delayed gratitude. That's what these kids need. They need to be able to taught, you can do it. You can earn your own way. And then they will value the way more. You can do it. The way. That's what Yahshua called it. The way. He also called it the faith of our fathers. He didn't call it churchianity. He didn't call it big box church. He didn't call it Christianity. Now, did he want a religion after himself or not? That's another question. You got an answer, you put it down in the comments. I don't get many comments, and I don't get hardly any on topic. And I know we've all been dumbed down. We're not nearly as bright as we should be because we're all walking around with a bunch of parasites and heavy metals and chemical loads, neurotoxins, and endocrine disruptors, all kinds of shit in us. Yes, Dr. Kent's going to be developing his own formulas. Going to give it to this young woman to market. Put my name on it. Oh, I tease her a bit once in a while. I don't know if we're ever going to meet. She got 3 boys. I wouldn't want anybody touching my mama. Oh, hell no. She got 3 of them there. So you can bet if one of them isn't pissed off at you or defensive or whatever, the other one will be. I mean, let's talk about 3 in 1. Talk about instant family. I mean, she does the best she can do on her own. Yeah. So, I'd like to put her to work. I need to expand my business. I need to get a business. I'm tired of being given the business and run around by what masquerades as a government in this country. It's all a shit show. It is a play put on for our benefit. They're all on the same team. The playwright controls them all. All of the world is but a play. And the actors come and go. The man who wrote that was Mr. Kent. You knew him as William Shakespeare, who was a horse handler on Mr. Kent's estate. Or should I say, Mr. Kent's father's estate. That particular Mr. Kent couldn't be even identified as Mr. Kent. Yeah, talk about family matters. I don't think he was a good guy. I don't know. He brought you the 1611 King James Bible after you retired from playwriting. after they murdered William Shakespeare. Don't ask me who murdered William Shakespeare. I think I know who the hit guy was, but I don't know who paid him off or who put him up to it. Ben Jonson killed him. He put a little arsenic in the old sot's beer. He must have been a really good horse handler. The Kents loved horses. And we also provided the king the best parts of his army. So we were rewarded. We were rewarded in the New World. That land was supposed to be mine. I screwed up, and my uncle screwed up even worse. And the woman he married at the same time I tried to get married, she was not a good woman. Not at all. She rode his ass into the ground and broke his spirit. Turned him against me. That's right. All because she wanted to inherit everything, give it to her children. She couldn't be fair. My uncle was one of the original founders of the Bank of America before it was the Bank of America. He made so much stupid money, it got the best of him. I mean, I figured out every 40 days he was busting $1 million. Man, that's just royalties and whatever it is they issue. But here we are, we're being told that in order to secure our finances, we have to start a treasury account, and the banks are in between us and the treasury, and the banks have been stealing from us the whole time. And there my uncle was, a founder of one of those banks. Wish I knew my uncle a little bit better. I think there's some skeletons in the closet. There's some things in the closet that I don't know about. Why wouldn't he tell me about it? I just don't know. He wasn't allowed to spend any time with me. His wife and her family wouldn't allow it. You see, they kidnapped him. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. And they abused him. And they're getting away with it because there's some esquires who set this shit up and are protecting him. And I have a complaint with the Supreme Court of New Hampshire, or should I call it New Hampshire Supreme Court? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't give a shit. I want to kick the attorneys to the curb. You do too. To become free again, we got to kick the attorneys. You want to become healthy again, you got to kick the physicians, or should I say the drug company whores, the modern witch doctors, the quacks. I know you're going to say, Dr. Kent, you're not a doctor. What do you know? Yeah, I'm the real doctor. They're the fakes. They're just drug company whores. They're just technicians. They're sworn to secrecy. They can't tell you the truth. They can't practice independently and do what they want. They will lose their licenses. They will lose the gravy train. I got to take those asses on too. So you pray for me and pray for my writing that Yahweh will, that the Holy Spirit, pray for me for the Holy Spirit. When that stuff gets a hold of you, it's not always pretty, folks. So I know what I'm asking for. I've been through the ringer. I asked for a double dose and I got it. I asked for that a long time ago. Woo, baby. I didn't know what I was asking for. It's been quite a ride. But I asked for it. And I was able to support myself. That's all I wanted, was to be able to earn my own keep and not be dependent. I didn't want those assholes winning out over me. I didn't want them destroying my spirit. That's the world you live in today. That's the world I've been living in, dealing with. The challenges I faced have been immense. I don't want to take it public. I want to be left alone. Yahweh's not allowing it. He's calling me to action. So I really need your prayers. Because y'all aren't going to believe the bullshit they've been doing to you and me. But he opens my mind up and tells me and shows me at the moment. That's how you get these rich videos. You get this stream of consciousness with all what's between the lines. It's kind of like reading your Bible. There's a lot between the lines. That's why we spend time in it. There is no Holy Trinity. It's the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost. And Yahshua was the Word. The law. He holds this part, this neck of the woods, he holds it together from what I've seen. Literally, he holds it together. Every bit of it. I'm like, whoa, really? Yeah, really. I know there's going to be a lot of challenging stuff. My buddy, like a doggone canary in the coal mine, tells me what he's picking up on. There's going to be a falling away in the faith. And I'm like, man, I thought we already had that and we were getting past it. I thought I was part of that falling away and getting back into the fold. I mean, the guy shows up in the dream and tells me the rest of them thought they'd lost me because they sent me deep into enemy territory. And this young tattooed fellow in a motorcycle jacket tells me, but I knew better because you trained me. And at that point I looked at him and I'm like, huh? I trained you? Okay. All right. I know you're out there somewhere. A lot of this is for you. It's for the others too. Get these videos going. Share them to people you trust. I don't want them taking this channel apart. I really don't care about these streams of consciousness and saving these shows because I can redo them. You might want to save them, archive them, because I won't be around forever, that's for sure. Who knows? Maybe I'll suffer another damn stroke and I won't be able to do this anymore. I certainly hope that's not the case. I kind of like being able to converse and remember a little bit about what I was talking about a minute earlier so I can finish the thought. And I also appreciate getting out here because it exercises me, gets me talking shop again. There's stuff I've forgotten about that I forgot I even knew. Yahweh put me where he wanted me the whole time. Cool. I ain't too happy with some of those places, though. I'll tell you that right now. When I get there, I want a word with him. It's like, why? Why did you do this to me? Damn it. I mean, why put me through this stuff? It was a little bit too hard. Yeah. I wouldn't wish it upon you out there at all. No. Nope. But my last name is Kent. Yeah, I don't dare say I'm Superman. There was a time when I didn't have to repeat my name or spell my name. Everybody knew it. I miss those days. But the enemy's name keeps changing his name. Last time he changed it to Rothschild. Before that it was Bauer. And then we have Rockefeller, and I can't remember what their last name was, but it had 2 G's, double G's in the middle of it. They're all related to Vlad the Impaler, Count Dracula. And we thought those were just stories. Cute little stories. Silver bullet is what you use on a vampire, or a wooden stake. If you're brave enough to discover where they're laying at and driving it through their heart, wonder what kind of wood that is. Might that not be the stake of truth? May Yahweh bless. I'm going to guess this is 157. It could be 156. I'm losing track at this point. You got to get the Bibles out there, folks. We got to turn this nation into Bible readers. I don't know what's coming down. I wouldn't panic too much. That's what they want. They're saying something about the 24th of December. Oh, well, we'll talk about Christmas soon. Yahweh bless. I promise you, we'll cover Christmas. Bye-bye.